You've seen it, right? That perfect, trendy salad bowl all over your social media feed. It looks so simple. Some fresh greens, bright toppings, a nice drizzle of dressing. But what if I told you that behind that seemingly effortless meal, there's a hidden formula, a really precise recipe of science, psychology, and yeah, business strategy?
So, what is that secret ingredient? Well, to figure it out, let's build our own ideal case study. Imagine the perfect salad brand, one that seems to have totally cracked the code. Let's give it a name. How about Global?
Okay, let's dive into our ideal brand, Global. Now, it's a fictional brand, sure, but it's built on a very real and powerful promise you've definitely seen before. Feed your inner sunshine. And that's not just a catchy slogan, it's the heart of its entire identity. See, this is way more than just a brand philosophy. It's a culinary wellness destination. The goal here isn't just to sell you lunch, it's to sell you a feeling of being radiant, healthy, inspired. It's all about turning a simple meal into this joyful ritual. But, is this all just clever marketing, or is there an actual data-driven formula at play here? Let's pull back the curtain on our Global and see if all this branding actually lines up with what we as consumers really want.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Global's main brand pillars, they perfectly mirror what consumers say they want the most. They push wellness, because guess what? Research shows health is our #1 reason for buying. They highlight natural ingredients, because that's our #2. I mean, it's a perfect reflection of what we say we want.
And we're not talking about a small preference here. A recent study of salad consumers in Indonesia found that health is the top priority by a huge margin. We're talking 51% of the entire decision. Natural content is next at 27%. Everything else, convenience, mood, even how it tastes and looks, is way, way behind.
And if you dig just a little deeper, you start to see what healthy and natural actually mean to people. We're looking for salads that are high in fiber, with no weird additives, but we also want them to be easy to get, and we want them to make us feel good, to help us relax. On the surface, it seems like our priorities are crystal clear.
Okay, but here comes the twist. And trust me, it's a big one. It turns out what we say is most important isn't always what we're actually willing to pay the most for. This is where our desires crash right into our wallets. And the results, they're pretty fascinating. Remember that chart? Sensory appeal, how a salad looks, smells, and tastes, was dead last on our list of priorities, with just 3% of the vote. We say we care about health more than anything else, but is that really where we put our money? Now take a look at this number. In that very same study, this was the highest premium in Indonesian rupiah that people were willing to pay for just one specific feature. It's about $2, which in this context is a pretty big deal. So what do you think it's for? More fiber? No additives? Yeah, that extra money, it's not for extra fiber or for being additive-free. It's the premium we're willing to pay for a salad that simply looks good. We say we want health, but our wallets are voting for beauty. And this right here is what you could call the sensory paradox. We'll pay more than double for a good-looking salad compared to one that just has natural ingredients. This explains exactly why brands like our Global spend so much on stunning food photography and vibrant colors. They know we eat with our eyes first, and our wallets are right there behind them. All right, so even if we pay for beauty, we still say health is our #1 priority. But what does healthy even mean? When you see a health label on a package, how is that actually measured? And more importantly, can you even trust it? Well, a German study from 2022 looked at two leading systems. On one side, you've got the super common Nutri-Score. It's a simple A to E letter grade based on about 7 key things. On the other side is the much more detailed Nutri-Recipe Index, which gives a percentage score based on 19 different nutrients. Two very different ways of defining healthy.
So what did the study find? Basically, that the more detailed index has stronger discriminatory power. In other words, it's way better at spotting the subtle nutritional differences that a simpler score might completely miss, especially when you're comparing two products that look almost identical.
And this potato salad test, it just illustrates the difference perfectly. The simple Nutri-Score slapped a generic C on all the potato salads. But the more nuanced index, it could actually tell the difference between a good B option, an average C, and a poor D option, all in the same category.
So healthy isn't always as simple as a letter on a box. So we have our ideal brand and the complicated science behind the health label. But how does all of this play out in the real world? Let's shift gears from the lab to the tough reality of actually trying to sell a salad on the street.
Let's meet Salad Buah Kembar. This is a real-deal small business in Medan, Indonesia. They saw the healthy food trend, started selling fruit salads back in 2018, and like so many businesses today, they jumped on food delivery apps like GoFood to try and grow their customer base. But a case study on their business uncovered something pretty fascinating. Even with a digital strategy, a whopping 75% of their sales still come from direct offline purchases. We're talking people walking right up to their stall. All of their online platforms combined only make up a quarter of their business. And you know that big delivery app they joined, the one that was supposed to expand their reach? Well, it only brings in about 8% of their total sales. Just 8%. It's a much smaller piece of the pie than you'd probably expect.
And this really shines a light on the tough digital hurdle that so many small businesses face. When you factor in high commission fees and just brutal competition on those apps, having a digital presence is absolutely no guarantee of success. It's another huge gap between that polished ideal, like our global, and the messy, on-the-ground reality.
So, after pulling apart the science, the psychology, and the real-world strategy, what does this all mean for the next salad you decide to buy? Well, the big takeaway here is that your simple lunch bowl is actually a highly sophisticated product. First, there's deep nutritional science behind it. Then there's this fascinating psychological tug-of-war between what we say we want and what we'll actually pay for. And finally, there's the real-world strategy a business needs just to survive in today's food market. So, the next time you go to choose a salad, what's really going to drive your decision? Is it going to be the promise of an A rating, the beautiful photo that kind of triggers your wallet? Or maybe the story of a local business just trying to make it all work? After all, the perfect salad isn't just a recipe of ingredients, but a recipe of choices. Theirs and ultimately yours.